Hello, hello, hello. This is the afternoon session of the third Global Empowerment Summit. We are here again, and this is a beautiful Friday afternoon. And we had an amazing morning with a lot of speakers. Already from the fashion and art scene, we were talking about photography with Kuen. You can watch the video back on our YouTube channel. We were talking about design and patterns with Caro, Mark, and Caroline from Malaysia, who are leading their brand, who are entrepreneurs and who are designing beautiful patterns in their fashion designer business. And then we also had Louise. Louise was talking about self-doubt and how you can get over it, or at least how you can embrace it and how you can turn it into your advantage. And then we also had Lady Anne. Lady Anne is leading community in Johor, and she's also a personal brand specialist, and she was giving us some tips. This was the morning session, and we also have a lot of things coming just right now. So in a few minutes, Marie will join me in the studio. Marie is someone who will speak about a special invention that she is doing. It's positive fibers. So that's an exciting topic to talk about, because we are also in the topic this year all over the whole summit of sustainable digital transformation. That means we are also talking about sustainability, we are talking about going digital, and we are also including this holistic approach that the whole Global Empowerment Hub is representing, which is going around the wheel of life and helping you to grow and empower you in different areas of your life with the help of the more than 400 experts who have been with us already in the last 3 years. And this is something that is very exciting. The Global Empowerment Hub is also getting into a next stage, if you will, if you can say so. And that means that next year we are leveling up. We are starting our podcast, and we are also issuing a book with all the different speakers who have been here, and the book is called 365 Empowering Stories, and all our speakers will share their empowering stories and a few business tips, so that if you open this book, then you can remember all the speakers, you can watch all the videos, and you can also get in touch with them and learn from their own personal life experience. And I see Marie is already in the studio, so I will bring her up, and right when she will be here, we will be exploring her topics. So let me just welcome in the studio on the fifth weekend of the summit, Marie de Roos. Hi, Marie. How are you today?
Hi, Andrea. I'm good. How are you? Thank you for having me
I'm
here.
good, good, good. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for coming on board. And
Of course.
it's amazing to have you here. I'm really happy. It's the fifth weekend. Somehow I'm very tired, but on the other hand, it's like something that I'm looking like, okay, it's over. But also, I'm just like, wow, I'm impressed by all of you, by all the 133 speakers who are volunteering to share value with all the people who are watching us. And this is just 1 year, but it will be staying here, right? So people can rewatch you anytime. So Marie, let's
Yes.
just get to you and tell us a little bit about yourself before we are getting into your topic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So my name is Marije de Roos, unpronounceable, so I always go by Marie. I'm the founder and CEO of Positive Fibers. I'm also the circular fashion detective, which is my alter ego. By training, I'm an economist, and I really look at the world in terms of how can we make it, like how can we achieve circular economies on a global scale, leaving no one behind. Yeah, that's shortly about me, and yeah, looking forward to your questions and our conversation.
Yeah, I'm really, really excited about your topic because it's actually something very specific, and positive fibers. It's a very interesting combination. So I'm so happy that you brought this up, and I really would like to know more about it. So before I bring up the actual topic that we will talk about, just tell us a little bit about positive fibers.
Yeah, so Positive Fibers is a startup. We were founded 2 years ago out of an accelerator program, really with the mission to put the eco into e-commerce, because I really believe that, yeah, like commerce and the creation of new products is here to stay, even though the world is challenged with a lot of waste. And so, but what we're doing specifically, what I'm really excited about, is we're pioneering a completely new concept of the way fashion is created. And mind you, fashion is not just clothing; it's furniture, it's it's I always say, like, the reason why I call the company Positive Fibers, I mean, it's kind of on positive vibes. Like fashion is supposed to be fun, right? Like, we need more positive energy in this world to make the change happen. But yeah, it really comes down to the combination of materials, craftsmanship, and design. That's how products are created. So it's a complete rethink of supply chains, but that's like the nerdy part. That's what the customer doesn't see, right? Um, and then also, so what we're doing is making sure that everything that we create physically is compostable. So it's made to last until composted. I wanted to say the made to last because I often get the question, so if I wear your stuff and I go outside and it rains, do I end up naked? It's like, no, 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 it's not like that. It's actually, no, I seriously, you have no idea how often I get that comment. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, super excited to be here, and it's yeah, let me know if, I don't know, if anyone in the audience respond as well. Like, would love to talk more about this because it's a big topic, so I always struggle a bit with condensing it in a sentence. But ultimately, we make fashion that, like, using fashion as a catalyst for positive change, but making sure that whatever that fashion is not polluting the environment, or yeah, or doing more harm, but actually doing more good.
I love it. And this morning we've been started with one of the fashion designer here from Malaysia. So it's a Swedish lady and a Malaysian guy who are partners also, and they are doing this brand together. And they were telling that since the last few years they are trying to reduce wastage throughout the production. So they are focusing on that. But I think your idea is something very, very specific. So I really would like to get the details. And first, before we get there, I always like the people to make understand, like, what's your title exactly, because we have economic backgrounds, but sometimes it's like, yeah, we have to understand where are we coming from, what's the perspective here. So your title that you choose for today is Where Your Values for Collective Prosperity. So
Yes.
tell us a little bit more about this mission or idea that you have behind.
Yes. Yeah, I guess I'll start with collective prosperity. So I've been in the sustainability space for about 4 years, and it's very hard to define what sustainability is. But in particular, if we look at the fashion industry, how much exploitation is there? While at the same time, I mean, I'm from the Netherlands in the West. Actually, currently I'm in Dubai, which is also very innovative, fast paced. So it's not per se the West, but like the developed countries, they keep innovating, they keep advancing. But what happens with that is that you create an even bigger gap. And if we look at specifically what is economics, economics is household management. We're all on this planet together, but we have to move forward together. So that's the collective prosperity part, that whatever is done, it needs to advance everyone in the ecosystem. So I always say sustainability means leaving no one behind. But that's just one small part of the puzzle, because it's a major, like, I really struggle with defining what sustainability is, because it's massive, right? And then the where your values part, it comes from actually how I became aware of the fashion industry was through a documentary called The True Cost. It exposes these, like, closed kitchen operations that the fashion industry thrives on. That's how they make their money, by exploiting people on the planet. It was in particular about the people, and I realized that whatever I have in my closet, I mean, I love fashion with a capital L, but it just became clear to me that it doesn't matter if it's designer fashion or fast fashion, what have you. Like, every category is guilty of thriving on this system of exploitation. And it just gave me such a pit in my stomach. The next time I opened my closet, I just felt there's like this conflict that I have been, what I call, like, feeding the monster. So in particular, when it comes, but at the end of the day, right, we keep wearing clothes. And then I also realized, for like, people who want to do good, they are just not, like, you could be working in, I don't know, for example, renewable energy or impact investing or what have you. But at the end, but what are you wearing? If you're still wearing clothing that is made in these exploitative systems, you are not walking the talk. You're not wearing your values. So that's where that comes from. So I really think that it is about walking the talk. So
Mhm.
if you talk about your values, wear them, and that will push us all forward into a system of collective prosperity.
I love it. I love that you are saying this because the whole Empowerment Hub is about walking the talk, and I'm bringing on the experts who are walking actually the talk. So you can see that all of them are supporting each other. They are showing up. They are really
Yeah.
teaching people from the heart, and it's not just about getting money. It's not just about selling like crazy the services. It's more about giving value and then appreciating the people and understanding where they are coming from. So I think that's also part of sustainability. As you said, it's huge topic, so it's not just clothing, it's not just environment, it's also how we keep this whole human life, humanity itself, sustainable. So I really love
Yeah.
the points that you are bringing up. And I think one question is here still unclear for the audience, so maybe we can clear that. Alchen is asking one more time about positive fibers because I think he's interested in the details. He's a very detail-oriented person. So I think you can tell us about how you produce the products. How is it actually that you are doing positive fibers and making it happen?
Yes. Yeah. So positive fibers. So for the past 2 years, I've been in full R&D mode, and finally, we have created the world's like the output of that. So I've developed a framework that I call biocircular fashion, and it's very nerdy stuff, and like I don't think we have enough time to go into the details. But from what do you call it? Like from the that's like the back end, but like from the front end it's fashion. So Positive Fibers we are a brand. We're launching next week with an NFT. So what we do is digital fashion. So it's the combination of physical and digital, and the physical part is guaranteed to be biocircular. So biocircular means it will decompose in nature. It's like I define the system biocircular fashion as a system in which materials circulate like from nature back to nature without losing their value. So there's no plastic, no synthetic shenanigans. It's like no poison will end up in nature. It will return as a food for the soil. So hope that answers the question. I would love to connect offline, and I mean, yeah, like you can follow me on LinkedIn or shoot me an email at hello@positivefibers.com, and happy to elaborate.
I love that. And I will share your
We're launching next week, so yeah, if you're
yeah,
curious, you can sign up.
we can share just links, or we can share your email address, whatever, whichever you choose. Because if you type it in, I can share it in a message under this video. So that would be great. And yeah, I think I really love this idea already. The digital fashion, I think this is something that is amazing. It's like hybrid experience. So I really love that part. And also I love the part of decomposing, so that it's actually starting in nature and then it's ending in nature without destroying anything on the way. And I love this idea, so I'm so happy, and congratulations. And I think you must be
Aww.
excited about this launch. And I'm always happy when someone is announcing some launches at the summit, because after a few years I'm watching it back and I'm like, oh, that was the lady still started. And then whoever did that, they always
Yeah.
becomes like successful, and the ideas are amazing. So thank you so much for sharing it with us here. So why do you think it's so important, in fashion, in sustainability, that we are walking the talk? Because I think that's the most interesting thing that people don't seem to understand, or it's just the way how we are done, how we are made, that we are always making these circles, getting back, and always restarting and not following through, or we are
Right.
just too busy. So what do you think is behind all this? Like one of the experts said that we are like 30 years, almost 30 years, that we are talking about sustainability and the problems that are coming, like 27
Yeah.
years. And it's like nothing happened, and it's just worse than it was before. So what is behind this? What do you think is the struggle here?
Big question. I think this can be answered from different angles. I mean, I'm really curious always about the human perspective, like the individual perspective. Why is it that someone starts out with a good idea but doesn't follow through? And it's hard. It's I mean, look, it's a great question. I just don't want to, give like a
It's okay. We still have
unsophisticated
time,
answer.
and we are looking for personal perspective. So please just feel free to
Yeah.
share whatever is your perspective.
I mean, yeah, like, or I mean, I can speak from my personal experience. For me, it really started with seeing that documentary and not being able to unsee what I've seen. So having that information in my brain and then going back to like my old life of walking into a shop or going online, to what have you, like, yeah, like online retail. I just immediately saw conflict, and that is not a good feeling. And I don't know, I think I just have something like stubborn in me. I don't know, I think maybe it's like a personality trait, but like I really, like, I wanted to be able to look at myself in a mirror with a clear conscience and not looking like a hypocrite. So that's why I don't know, it's just like I cannot not do it, because I cannot unseen what I've seen. And I really believe that at the end of the day, everyone wants to do good, right? We don't want to take advantage of people, even though unfortunately this happens still in the world, right? There's a lot of greed in business, but that's a whole other conversation.
I
um,
love it. What was
yeah, but
the
I think it's hard to. Sorry, I think it's just.
documentary? What was the
Sorry,
documentary that you have seen?
it's called The True Cost. It's by Andrew Morgan, and I think it was released in 2015. So it really talks about, in particular, the collapse of a factory in Bangladesh, the Rana Plaza factory, because that killed 1,132 people, of which the majority are women. And I mean, a big issue with that as well. Sorry, I'm not answering the question. It's a true cost, but yeah, I mean, it's. I mean, I really recommend everyone watching it, but
I found it. I will
it
share
hits
it.
you. It
I
hits
think I
you in the
found
core. Yeah,
it.
yeah. Oh, great, you found it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think in general, when it comes to like talking about it, but not walking the talk, because you're right. Like this is not a new topic. Um, it was in the 90s when the trouble started, right? So since then, uh, yeah, like climate scientists, activists, like, smart people who care for the environment have been warning about this. But then when it comes to walking the talk, I think it's just very difficult to do that on your own, because going back to psychology, we're like, we want to belong to a group. I think it's just something we have in our DNA. So it's just very hard to stand out, as like that lone wolf, if you will. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I mean, I love this question, but I don't know. I feel like we need to write a book on this. Like, why do people not walk the talk?
Maybe, yeah, looking forward to it. Maybe we can read that. And guys, if you are interested in the documentary about the fashion industry and how it changed the life, for example, for Marie, then just
Yeah.
visit this link, and it's christophermorgan.com, and the movie's title is The True Cost. It has been issued in 2015. So check out, and then just tell us how it was when you watch the movie. Come back to this video and comment on it, and tell us how you feel about it and whether it has changed your perspective. That would be a very interesting conversation, guys, if you could come back to us with that. So Marie, on the other hand, tell us about the launch, because it's so exciting for you that you are launching your amazing new thing that what you were fighting for and you were researching and developing in the last few years. So how will it happen? Where will it happen? Tell us everything. I just want to see how it unfolds.
Of course, yeah. So, fun fact about today is it's Black Friday, right? Um, so actually, the thing is, like, Black Friday really, like, or this whole week, because it's no longer just a day; it becomes a whole week. Or I don't know. I feel like some brands are just, they started at the 11th of November, which is Singles Day in China. So I mean, yeah, you're in Asia, so you probably see it there as well.
It's everywhere.
Um, yeah, and it's honestly, it gives me anxiety, because to me it's just it's the thing is, like, we really have to get to a system of mindful consumption. We really need to tackle the waste, and the waste also comes from buying things that you don't need, but that you bought because it was on sale, right? I think we're all guilty of that. Like, oh, it was on sale, whatever. Like, I'll find a way to wear it. But the fact is that, or like the reality is that it ends up in the back of your closet to never see a ray of sunshine or daylight. Um, so we really need to get to a system that is mindful and that is positive of, like, in terms of the way things are made, right? So the sustainability element, but it's also like, I really worry about the, the individual, the consumer, the customer, or actually I like to prefer the term citizen, because like it yeah, like it's a different conundrum. It's We really need to understand that whatever we buy, it makes an impact. We carry a certain responsibility for it, and our choices really matter, because the only way to, like, kill off fast fashion is to stop giving those companies money, right? I mean, that's why I realized after watching The True Cost, I felt such an internal conflict, and I started calling myself a fashion culprit, because I had been actively feeding the monster, but I just didn't know about it. And so don't feel bad, right? Because I feel like some people just really feel, I don't know, like, bad about themselves when I tell them this. And it's like, no, like, don't blame yourself, but now that you know, do better, because you actually have that choice. But yeah, so back to the launch. Um, so I realized, well, events like this, unfortunately, are here to stay. But what if we come up with a better alternative? And that's why 1 year ago I thought, oh, maybe next year there can be Positive Friday. So not Black Friday, but Positive Friday. And so it's intentionally that we're launching it 1 week after Black Friday, so December 2nd. The launch will happen virtually. We're going to auction an NFT. We have a men's and a women's blazer, so they're like cut from the same cloth, but and created with the same design concept, but there's a men's fit and a woman's fit. Yeah, we're auctioning it as an NFT because we're also fundraising for an NGO that does really good work in terms of ocean conservation. What we often don't realize, I mean, if you look at the brand Positive Fibers, if you look at our website, at our Instagram, you won't see a tree in the forest. You will see coral reefs, clear water. Like, that's what clean air. That's what we're striving for, because coral reefs actually are the rainforest of the ocean, and life in the sea is informative of the quality of life on land. So yeah, so it's fashion as a catalyst for positive change. So we create clothes that, like, we create fashion. So I mean, to me, fashion is wearable art. So I've worked with really good people, like designers, who they're artists, right? And then I just make sure that the supply chain is completely ethical from whoever works in it. Like, so from the farmer to the garment worker, the whole all stakeholders, and making sure that at the end of a life cycle, the product goes back to nature, not as poison, but as like part again of the life cycle.
Okay, so sustainable, ethical, and wearable, and still an art piece. And I think that's something very magic combo here, because it's very rare to see all the three elements at the same time. And I'm wishing you all the best for the launch. And I will connect you with some of the people from in Malaysia, some designers that I know, because I'm sure that they would very happy, because Malaysia has a big problem with this ocean, I mean the sea around, and all the things that are really not good around waste management. And it's also one of the countries, I think, that is considered to be the garbage bin of the West. So it's kind of like a very interesting situation for them, that everyone is sending the garbage here in bulks. And that's something that it's hard to tackle, of course, because it's also economical. We both know that there is a economical reason behind this. So thank you for your sharing today. Super excited for your launch. Please inform us how it went. And for the audience, thank you so much for the questions. Alchan is saying, yeah, big discounts today. So yeah, Black Friday. Well, let's hope.
Close your eyes for it.
Close the eyes. I just already, I bought some things on Lazada, and I'm like, okay, stopping it, because it's just crazy, because they always send you notifications. So it's not like you want that thing. They are after you once registered, they were always coming after you, and it's like they push
Exactly.
you back. It's a
No,
very
but they
big.
do, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So willpower, guys, willpower. You don't need
Yes.
everything. You just need what you need, and then the rest, just figure it out or use. Like I use clothes, for example. This one, what I'm wearing, is a used clothes. So I basically
Yeah.
went to a secondhand shop in Europe and I bought it there. And I do this many times because it's also something that I can do on my
Yeah.
own level.
Yeah. Great.
So thank you so
Andre,
much.
thank you so much. Oh, sorry. No, like I wanted to thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It was a wonderful conversation. I really hope we meet IRL one time soon. Yeah, and I think it's amazing what you achieved here, and I'm very honored to be a part of it.
Well, thank you so much for being here. I love the conversation too. I will make sure that I connect you with the designers here in Asia so that they can hear about your concept. And yeah, all the best for you and have an amazing day because the day just starts for you.
Kind of, yeah. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much, Marie. Bye bye.
Bye.
All right, guys, so switching speakers, and we are jumping right now into an amazing space. So, after we have been with Marie in Europe, we are jumping back to Malaysia and right away into an art gallery. And I'm so excited because Richie is here already from his place. So, I will just bring him up to show around because he is someone who is actually helping artists to be seen, and his art gallery is some amazing things that you have to check out once you are coming to Kuala Lumpur. So let me just remove the banner and bring Richie up. Hi Richie, how are you today?
Hi, I'm good. Hi, Andreas.
So nice to meet you for the first time. We have been connected with through Andreas Dorn, one of the other speakers, and you are also an NLP enthusiast, and that's why we have been connected. And I'm so happy to have you here. And you have an amazing art gallery, and that's what we wanted to start with. Show us around. Tell us a little bit about this place.
Sure. This is my private room. So you will see this is the huge art piece. This is okay, let me see whether I can switch my can I turn around the camera?
You can try, yeah. I don't know whether it works, but maybe it's just one-sided. Uh-oh. I think the turning around has been removing himself from the studio. So we will wait him until he will come back. And in the same time, hi, Christian. Hi, Jack. Hi, everyone. Okay, so I will add him. I think no turning around the camera.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, no worries. We just I'll just show you around with this camera. So this is the private area, basically an area for wine and whiskey for all our art collectors. So we have a huge room, and then this is a lotus, a blossom lotus.
Wow, I love lotus. That's my favorite.
Yes, it's beautiful, and it's in a gold foil, and very colorful, very vibrant and energetic. And we have a Canadian artist here. It's called Cod Blue.
That's also nice. Can you tell us about the story? Do you know the story of the picture?
This one, yes. Actually, this story, it is not for sale art. I want to keep it for my future children, because me and my wife, we have been married for 7 years, and we have been based in China, Beijing, and Shanghai since 2014. So during the pandemic, we are stuck in Kuala Lumpur. So we are here, and we try to start up some new businesses, and also we are planning for our pregnancy, because we were too busy last time when we were just married. We just focused on our career for 5 years. So we have been trying for 1 year. Too bad, no result. And then we went for IVF. And then after the IVF process, she was in COVID, and then we have to restart the whole process again. So she has a bit of anxiety last time, and then we successfully withdraw 7 eggs out from her oval, and then we are still quite not sure, uncertainties and anxiety, and then we come across this painting. So this painting has 7 blossom flowers. It symbolizes the 7 eggs are all, blossom, and we will have a fruitful result. And you could see this is a couple, a guy and a woman sitting on the, on the root of the tree, looking at the sunset, enjoying the fruitful result. And these are the ups and downs, symbolize our journey that, we have been trying very, very hard for pregnancy, but too bad, maybe the time isn't there yet, so we are still going uphill and downhill. So this is the story behind, and that's how we come across this art, and it's just about us. I think it represents our journey and story of 201, 2021 and 2022. So we want to buy it and give to our children in the future and tell them the story, where they come from. And this is our journey. But this is so
I love
special
it.
for
And
us.
how special the fate is that you just run into it in the moment when you were struggling. I mean, that's just so rare that it's just so aligned, right?
Yes. And every painting, we always believe that art is not just a decoration hanging on the wall. Art is actually a form of cultural asset that not just physical value, but they also bring you spiritual value. What are the family values behind that you want to pass down to your next of kin or your future generation? So this is something that many wealthy family or the ultra high net worth people in China, in Beijing, Hong Kong, Shanghai, they all have their own family museum, which is amazing. I have visited many of the ultra wealthiest family museum, and each of every art piece and antiques, they all have their own label and story. Why they collected such an art piece at that particular moment? What happened? What happened in 1930s? What happened in 1950s? So they have the story, and they are so deeply connected to the root of their culture. So I think this is what me and my wife, we are jumping into this journey as an art collector, because we want to educate more people to collect art, and and pass on this asset as a cultural asset. And they also can diversify their investment profile. This is one of the best investment that I have ever had.
I love it. And then here we go. Let's go further in the art gallery because I think you have more
Sure.
things to show us.
Yeah,
So
this is all my
the
limited
whiskey
edition
collection.
whiskey. Yes.
I
We
have to
have Japan.
introduce you to my hubby. He's also like got to love whiskey in Scotland because we
Yeah.
did a nice traveling there.
So this is a Games of Thrones series, which is a very limited edition. So 8 of them are together into one combo. I would say a one series. You can't get it now in the market. It's very, very rare, right? So, and also this is another Blue Label Ghost and Rare version, also quite limited. And also this is Japanese whiskey. I'm not sure whether you can see clearly. This is only have 900 bottles in the whole world. And also I have
amazing collection.
yeah, thank you. This is my wall, the cupboard of all my whiskey collections. Yep.
Beautiful. So we will
Yeah.
definitely visit you. I will bring my husband there.
Wow,
He will be
welcome.
amazed. He will be amazed. So I see many artworks. I think that's an amazing. It's a huge place. So what
Yeah.
brought you into the decision of bringing this art gallery into action and to realize it and to make it happen?
Okay, first of all, we started this art business in China, Shenzhen, and then we expanded to Beijing. And then we also quite aggressive to promote the artists in Shanghai and Hong Kong. But due to COVID, because me and my wife, we were both Malaysians who started the business in China, right? So, and then I think everything happens for a reason. During the COVID time, many people, they are start looking for alternative for collection or investment, because the stock market doesn't do well, the properties market doesn't do well. So they are looking for something that is relatively stable, but also they could appreciate it, or they could get other values, other values rather than monetary value. So this is where art comes in, because art are always be labeled as a wealthy people's asset, or wealthy people toy, right? So basically it's not like that. Everybody can own art and everybody can step into this industry. Just whether you understand the principle and the rules behind or not.
And it's so inspiring because I was just, everyone is disrupting nowadays everything. So basically, what happens in the market is I met with some people who are already partially owning some properties, and it's like a partialized ownership. And I think it's a great idea to partially own also an art piece. I mean, how amazing would that be to have this as an option in the artistic place, and then make it happen, and people can just own a little bit of part of Mona Lisa, for example.
Yeah. That's how NFT works, right?
Yeah,
NFT,
exactly.
I think NFT has been a good education stepping stone for all the younger generation. What are art? What are digital art? What are physical art? I think it's a very good, a good wave, I would say, rather than the bubble. Yes, it is. They have some bubble, but eventually the market will fine tune itself. I have no worry about that. But I think the education part is the most important thing, that it need to open up the mind, because many of the people, they are very traditional. When they have excess money, what they buy property, right? They buy gold bar. That's it. or they buy insurance, which you have something else. Actually, there are so many beautiful antiques, art pieces, and whiskey, especially limited edition whiskey, that you can just after 10 years you will like crazily appreciate it, and maybe 10x 20x. But most people, they don't get the information and they don't educate it from this era, right?
Yeah, I love the approach of the investment, and I think that's also something nice that we can talk about. Like you mentioned, that many people think about basic things like going on a stock market, or investing into traditional ways like gold and all these. But then, what is not beautiful, and like having a beautiful art piece, which is kind of like unique and one of a kind, right? And
Yeah.
just having it, and later when you want to sell, you just sell it, right?
Yes, exactly. So when you don't sell it, it becomes your asset, right? And if you sell it, you make profit. So it's the beauty of art. So I would like to introduce to the audience the most exciting art piece in my gallery. This is a 24 karat gold on canvas. So this is the first and the only artist that can paint on canvas with 24 karat gold. And this piece is huge. It's 2 meters times 1.3 meters, and it is a golden horse. Let me just show you.
Amazing, beautiful
Yeah.
piece.
Yeah.
Beautiful
Yeah.
piece.
Maybe you
So
can't see how it is, but if you look at this piece at my gallery, you can feel the vibrant, the energy, and the elegance of it. So beautiful.
of course, the people are already asking how much the value is. The first question that people have if they see something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's amazing. So what's behind all this? Like, what is your plan about this gallery? I know that you are planning to do it like event space. You are trying to bring people in and educate them about artistry. So what's your plan for your gallery? What's your purpose? The main purpose why you did it?
All right. My gallery is actually a private gallery, so I only open for members and also my private collectors. So mainly, I want to build a high net worth, good quality community that they know how to appreciate art. They will be the collectors, follow our brand along the way. So they'll keep following us. They know that we only collect good stuff, right? And we only recommend good stuff. So this is the first thing that we want to impose. The secondly, we want to work with different brands, like whiskey brand, like watchmakers, like jewelry designers. So we want to do a lot of collaboration. So that's why I set up this entire exhibition place for people to join me, and also to do more collaboration and create more noises and create more awareness to the market. And third, I want to attract more investors, by using this piece of gold art, because gold art is something very unique. It's not like the traditional oil painting. It has a preserved value because you can see, right? All the surface area are full of the 24 karat gold. So it actually are different. So it can be a really good asset to, to do some like art investment fund or some art, diversification fund, or, we can do a art segmentation, buy, purchase, like what you mentioned just now, like maybe 10 people can co-own this art piece together. I think it's possible. So actually, we are talking with some of the fund houses, and they are very interested in this product.
Yeah, I think it's something like an alternative to the traditional gold blocks that you just mentioned, because it's like crazy. Everything is crazy, and every investor is saying that, okay, whatever you have, you can try. But right now, in 2022, what is really like people are investing in it, and they say it's quite safe, it's gold, right? So that's the
Yes.
still having the value, still not losing the value. And as the resources are scarce, it's not that we will have so much more. So it's also something that is limited. So it's already giving it a huge value.
Exactly. Yeah. It's limited to less than 1,000 pieces worldwide. So it's very, very rare. Definitely, it's a combination of gold and art together, but both assets have the appreciation value. So if gold plus art, then, it can be more powerful. I believe so. Yeah.
Lovely, lovely share. And then
Yeah.
let's go further in the exploration of the ideas. So, for example, when you want to do collaborations, like how would it look like? I would say, okay, a watch designer or a jewelry designer or a fashion designer would like to collaborate with you. How would you imagine that collaboration?
Oh, okay. For example, like we have like this piece over here by a Hong Kong artist. He is very famous in Hong Kong right now. He collabs with a lot of celebrities. So, for example, like this piece of art can be collab with fashion, right? Can draw, this piece of, this picture can appear on shoes, limited edition watches, or so and so forth. So these are the possibility that we can look forward to, because art is basically, every artist is like an IP. If I describe it in a more layman term, I would say every artist is a currency, right? So put it this way: me as a art agency, I'm like the Federal Bank of US. So how am I going to make the US dollars appreciate? Am I printing more or am I printing less? Who am I distributing the dollars to? Right. So these are all the operation plans behind. Yeah.
So love your plan and love the private gallery, and also that you are diversifying your portfolio and you are helping people to see how powerful is diversification. And I think with that, we can also come to the questions that are already lining up in the in the comments. So we have a comment about the first picture. I think it was about your 7 different circles and the lady. So is it a pastel painting, that first painting that you chose with your wife for yourselves?
Okay. The first painting that I chose for myself was back then in 2016. It's actually the gold painting, right? Uh, Similar as this artwork, but it's a single rose. Very elegant art piece, but it's a smaller size. So why I decided to bought this in back then in 2016, because just because my wife loved it so much. First thing, yeah, that's the main reason. Secondly, I'm actually a businessman, right? So I asked my wife, what will be the ROI of this art piece, right? My wife said there's no guarantee of return. You don't have to everything calculate based on ROI. Just believe me, this art piece is valuable, is unique, and if we don't resell it in the future, we can leave it to our daughter as when during her wedding as her wedding gift. So I was pretty convinced, because I think this is a very right attitude to go into art market. Like, you appreciate and you buy something that you like and appreciate, but not just for the flipping and investment. Then you will find surprise along the journey, because many things like whiskey, I buy a lot of whiskey, but I don't drink. Sometimes I just give to my dad or give to my friend, but over the night the whiskey appreciate in value, so I get some free whiskey to drink. Right. Yeah. So
I
that's
love the approach.
yeah.
And then there is a question from Achen also about the art pieces. Like, can they be trademarked? Is there a protection for the art pieces themselves?
Actually, every art piece that produced by the artist, the IP automatically belongs to the artist. So the IP was protected, in the universal IP law. But of course, when someone like replicate, for example, this pattern, and it appears on other commercial appearance like shoes, like fashion, definitely we can take the legal action against the authority. So it, how would I say? Actually, art is definitely the original art is definitely be protected.
Okay, so for example, if someone like a fashion designer or a shoemaker would like to use those art pieces, you need to actually go back to the original artist and make a deal, and
Yeah,
then pay something for them to use the
yeah,
art, or have a contract with them so that it's possible, right?
yes, definitely, it's a must.
And then the other thing is that a lot of people are searching for investors nowadays, and there are amazing investors out there, even just normal individuals who have their resources and they can become investors. But how does it really go as an investor? And I think this is an interesting question. Like, how do we know, as people who are not really involved in art, but we would like to start something like investing in art, right?
Very, very good question. Yeah.
How do we know that that art piece is really valuable, or
All
will
right.
become valuable?
All right. Okay. Let me just share my personal journey, because I was starting as a art collector before I step into a art gallery owner position. Right. So when I want to invest something like the Go Art, my first piece, I will do some study and research, definitely, and I want to know a few things. First, is this art piece special and unique? Can you recognize the artist when you see the drawing technique, right? So this is the first very crucial thing. Second, you need to see the track record, and the profile of the artist. Were they in the very important museum or some contemporary art show before? Were they famous in a certain way? Okay. So third, you need to see what are their future potential. For example, the drawing pattern that they are drawing now, is the drawing pattern able to collab with fashion, or collab with the those high net worth branded stuff. You have to have the idea. So basically, you need to have a little bit of fashion sense as well. So these are the few criterias. So once they meet all these criterias, you will analyze on their price. So, whether the price is reasonable compared to the market price, compared to other artists. And if it is, then you just go ahead. Don't think so much. Just buy your first art piece, and you will learn along the journey, because you won't learn anything without start, right? Just like stock market, you won't learn any of the skill without buying your first stocks. It's the same. I would say it's the same methodology. So you need to get something to start, and then you will slowly, meet the like-minded people, and they will give you a lot of good advice and guidance. So you need to follow the right group, and then you know what is the best to invest.
And I will ask this question because I just love to show both sides of the coin. So, have you ever made a mistake and invested in an artist that didn't go famous, and you paid more money than it should have been?
Uh, Technically and thankfully not yet, but I did invested in the wrong coins and wrong NFT. But for physical art piece, thank God no. All my investment, they give me a very very good, no matter its physical value or the spiritual value. And I really enjoy being the journey as an art collector or investor.
And before we get to the last question, one thing from the artist perspective, because when you are an
Sure.
artist, sometimes you don't really know where to turn to. I mean, you are an artist, maybe you are doing good things, but maybe you haven't had the opportunity to go to a national gallery or to have a lot of exhibitions. So how can artists build their own brand? Like, how can they make their art worth more? How is this process? Do you know anything about this part?
Okay. This I I couldn't like tell in a very detailed manner, but generally artists they can't just work alone because they need to spend all of their effort and time in drawing because their inspiration is so precious. They need to focus. So they need a team. They need a very professional marketing and operation team to help them bring their work to distribute to the right channel, bring their name to the to the top tier of the museum or exhibition, and also to bring them to a top auction houses to create a fame or create a value there. So they need a team. They can't just work alone. If they work alone, I'm so sorry, they can't build their reputation or name in a very short time. No way. There's no way. In this in century, artists are more. I would say artists are more potential than in the past. In the past, like Van Gogh, like not Da Vinci, like other like Monet. They all very poor during their painting lifetime, right? They only make a fame after they are passed away. But now it's different. Now you can make a fame or make a good living, make a good wealthy, good wealth when you are still young. Like you are 30s, you are 20s. I see many artists when they are 20s, but they own so much wealth, by putting up the paintings in the right place.
Thank you so much for the tips. So artists, go and work for it, find your team and find your patrons so that you can really like work on your art and concentrate on what you have to give to the world. And then I will thank you for this amazing walkthrough of this private collection. And it has been an amazing time. So all who have been here or will watch this video, remember this is a private property. It's a private gallery owned by Richie, and I'm so thankful for you for doing us this virtual show round. And the last thing, how can they reach out to you before we close the conversation? If someone is interested.
Okay, if you're just interested, you can visit our Instagram Heritage Gallery or website www.heritagegallery.com, and you could make an appointment through our website.
Thank you so much, Richie. I wish you an amazing day, and it was amazing to hear your story.
Thanks, Andreas. I hope to meet you and your husband soon.
Very, very soon. I will be there. Yep. I will reach out. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Most welcome. Bye. Thank you.
All right, guys. So this was an amazing show around in Richie's Gallery, and I'm so excited that we are going to continue our afternoon, and we will have other conversations. So I will change the links and bring you more people up in the stage. Just bear with me. In 1 minute, I will be back with someone else. See you guys.